Hi, Anthony here from the original one and only Best in the West. Today's video will be in Huntington Beach, California. We're doing a front entryway and a walkway, and we did 2 yards down the street the same day on a little patio. The boys wheeled that, and Javier and Milton finished this one. So this is about 7 yards here, and we got 2 yards down the street. I'll show that at the end. What we got going on here, we got the house slab lower than the slab behind Javier, and we had to slope it down to that. So he's just getting elevations, and the homeowner wanted a curve, like a radius front of it, and a radius walkway, and then flare it out to the driveway. I'll show it here in a second. So Javier is just laying this out. For some reason, he asked me if I wanted to bring another guy or labor. For some reason, I don't know why. I told him no, but I had to jump in and get down with him. So you'll see me coming up in here. Here's a radius. We laid it out, and then the homeowners came and approved it because they wanted a radius around the front, and then a radius here, and then flare it out. So that's the look they wanted. So that's what we did here. We're just going to lay this out. I brought the rebar. We're going to just tie it all up. This job was demoed when I got here, so all I had to do is set it up, put some rebar in, set the forms, and then we come pour it the next day. We had 2 yards down the street. We wheeled that, and I just pulled the pump up to this job here. And there wasn't too much dirt coming out of here. We just had to slope from the front door to the existing slab on the side of the house because we had to catch that height, and it was quite a difference. So right at these poles, we kind of humped it down a little bit instead of putting a step over there. That's what they wanted. Just going to put the rebar up and down the runway up front here, getting elevations, got to flow it away from the house. Pretty basic, pretty easy job. He didn't bring his cutter, so I just had bolt cutters in my truck, so I just snapped it off with that. It's fairly easy to do with number three. You can't do it with number four with those little cutters I have, but with number three, no problem. Yeah, there's a setup there. We have to figure out a joint pattern here that looks aesthetically good on this. This is only like 7 yards or something like that. Came out really nice. Here's my pump. Brought my pump in. It's only about 100 feet of hose. I'm going to use a regular mix, like a 3000 microfiber straight cement, so it all bleaches out. I'm just going to roll this up. We didn't put any plastic, nothing up. We're just going to go careful up against the house, get a screed about a foot or two off of it, and then pull away from it, and then we're good. We can go horizontal with the house and rod it back or screed it back. Clamping this up here. Overcast day for the time of year it is, which isn't too bad either. It's kind of going to hang up under that awning there, though, but I didn't put any polar set or anything in it. I have three guys. I have Javier and Milton and his son with me today. Here's Chuck. There we go. So we're going to pump this down. I just pumped it how we brought it. I didn't add any water. I didn't even look at it. He just said it was fine, so we just went with it. And it was pretty nice. It was about right. They had already wheeled it down the street. That's already on the ground. It was a lot more hose, so if I brought the pump down there, I would have had to string out more hose, and then we would have had to drag it down to this job. And it just didn't seem worth it. Realistically, it was about a yard and a half down there, so it wasn't so bad. Milton and his son had no problem wheeling it. Trying to keep it down here, keep the hose down, because sometimes when you pull it up, it'll pop or something, it'll splatter all over, and then you got to get it off immediately because it's acidic. Concrete's acidic; it'll burn in it, or stain it on the brick or the front entry there. So we made sure we didn't get anything on there. Milton's son here, Javier's teaching him how to finish. He's pretty beginner, not too. He's getting up there, and Milton's not quite a full-fledged finisher, but he's getting close. But Javier's a master at it, so he's breaking Milton's son in, and he's getting Milton up to par of what we need. Ray could just shovel it back a little bit here as we're running it back, lifting the rebar as we go. If you get in the crosses, like I said before, even if you step on it, it's at a perfect height where I want it, because I've seen people do it on chairs or adobes or whatever, and it's too high and it'll crack. It'll crack it. You can guarantee it if it's not down low enough. I'd rather have it a little bit lower. And I break a lot of concrete with breakers, and I've broken thousands of yards. I've seen it on the bottom, an inch up top, and I could tell the strength of it where it's at. An inch off the ground, inch and a half is about right for me, where I like to put it. We're just bull floating this out here. That's Wayne. That's the contractor who hired me. He's doing the whole remodel on the house. He demoed it out prior to me getting there. We just finished rodding this out here. So we sent Javier down the street to the other to address the concrete patio at the other house down there. It's about one, two, maybe three houses down, two or three houses. I'm just washing this out here and then roll it all up. I'm home free with this. If you're running a pump, when you pump it down the washout, you don't want to see daylight all the way in your manifold, right about there, and then fill it up with water. You can't get any water in your manifold with concrete in it. It'll separate. Putting this away here. This is Huntington Beach, California. Overcast day. It was about 70 degrees. So I know this concrete's going to take a little while. We didn't put anything in it because you don't know if the marine layer is going to blow off and it's scorching hot or wet. So it's better off just to leave it. There's the world famous West Coast. And the next video I'll do will prove that. I'm doing videos on hammers and skid steers for corporations and companies that have been contacting me. So the next video will be a good one. They gave me the breaker too. They caught me the breaker, and it's I'll have the video up next week around Wednesday. So we're cutting the joints. We came up with a pattern, Javier and I, what we thought would look aesthetically good in the front here. You generally want to go off those poles, but those poles had a gap underneath. They were up off the ground from the strap, so I put concrete under it. So I didn't necessarily have to get a joint off the pole, which normally, rule of thumb, you would want to because it will crack off that corner every time. Almost every time, but this time we didn't have to because it was off the ground, so I pumped concrete underneath it, so it'll be fine. Brooming this out here. You gotta do it sideways because it's got to be slip resistant. You can't do it long ways like these guys on YouTube I see doing because it absolutely defeats the purpose for the tread and the slip. There it is there. That's the pattern we came up with and how it looked. Everybody liked it, the homeowner and the contractor, everyone liked it. There it is here. And I think we got a view of the one down the street coming up. There's the curve or the radius they wanted and the way it looks this way. They're going to re-landscape the whole front yard. So it should probably look really nice when they're done. There it is there. Here's the patio down the street that the boys wheeled it in. Thank you very much for watching The Best in the West.